Scott was just found dead. Phyllis is still missing. What's it like to live day to day in this type of situation? The whole town was in a frenzy. The tension was a weight on our home, on our family, and on our hearts. In a small town like ours, everyone knew what was happening. We couldn't go anywhere without people stopping us, desperate for details, like we had inside information. So we tried to stay at home, but even there was no relief. The news constantly playing the details of the case, twisting the knife in an already open wound, the phone ringing constantly. It's strange. Times like this bring out both the best and the worst in people. We certainly had wonderful friends and neighbors offering help, bringing food, offering to run errands. But we also saw how sinister people can be. People talked. What if she staged it? What if she and Scott had a plan but it went wrong? What if she ran off with his money? After all, we can't find her. Some turned my missing sister into a villain, like she wasn't the victim but the mastermind. And we had to live with those whispers day after day. Then came the prank calls. Yes, prank calls. People calling and saying they knew where my sister was. On one occasion, someone called and my mother answered the phone. The person was screaming frantically, saying that they were at a hotel room down the street and could hear someone screaming for help, and they thought it was my sister. My mother was hysterical, asking for the room number. Police were called, sirens everywhere. My mother rushed to the hotel thinking she would witness the rescuing of her daughter. The police rushed to the location, only to find nothing. A prankster. Nobody was even staying in the room number they gave. She came back shattered. The hope she had when she ran out the door, gone. The belief she thought she'd feel, ripped away. She sat down at the kitchen table, silent, numb. All of us stunned. Who would do that? Just staring at the phone still, waiting for it to ring with some sort of good news. Psychics called too. They swore they could find my sister. Some said they knew where she was, if only we paid them first. Such an awful thing to do. But what do? You have to answer the phone. Any call could be real, could give answers, could give closure. Then there was the search for Phyllis. The military was involved. Helicopters filled the sky. Search dogs everywhere. The FBI on foot. Even John Walsh from America's Most Wanted contacted my mother to do a story. They filmed in our house. I watched as my mother was interviewed, her face filled with devastation. My mother was broken to the core by the possible loss of her daughter. And I could imagine the pain of a mother now that I was a mother myself. John Walsh interviewed my mother and asked her to tell them about Phyllis and what her last words were to her. Turns out my mother had a bad feeling as well that night. She had called Phyllis, likely as this was happening. Phyllis didn't answer the phone. My mother wanted to drive to her house so bad, but her car was in the shop. Her last words on Phyllis's answering machine were, "I love you, Phyllis. Please give me a call." Phyllis likely heard this as she was being attacked. Needless to say, my mother never got that call. Days were now passing. Then reality sank in again for me. I had to return to Texas 2 weeks had passed, and I had to go back to work. The trip home felt like a dream, like I could feel every sensation of pain, but I was unable to stop it. I couldn't stop thinking about Phyllis. Was she being held hostage, tortured, raped? Every white van that passed, I wondered, is she in there? Is she still alive? Are they taking her to the border to hide in Mexico? I dreaded going back to work. I wanted to quit everything and just go look for her. But where would I go? And what would I even do? I had never felt more powerless. I was registered to start college that semester. I never even thought to drop my classes. Didn't realize it until months later when I received straight Fs because I'd missed everything. By now, a month had gone by. We'd almost lost hope. But then the police got a break. After weeks of nothing, there was finally a lead. A tip from America's Most Wanted, along with the fingerprints they had retrieved. The FBI thought they knew who did this. I still remember the news footage. Police opening a storage unit from a tip. Inside, tons of stolen merchandise. They had the right people. Now, they just needed to find them. And as it unfolded, the truth began coming out. It wasn't just one person. It was a family. A father, his 20-year-old son, the father's girlfriend, and her 16-year-old son. A family working together to commit a crime. Unfathomable. Who lets their son do that? But why? What was their motive? Where did they come from? Why did they target Phyllis and Scott? And worse, where was my sister? Each new piece of information brought with it a growing sense of dread. We were running out of hope, and yet, still, the worst was yet to come.